didn't change one thing, did it? Jesus was as risen. There he was, a few days before, 8 days I believe it was, talking to his disciples, risen from the dead. Thomas said, I don't believe it. Well, so what? That didn't change nothing, Mr. Thomas. He's still right here. The only thing that's changing is you. Amen. Ain't that right? I don't believe Peter walked on the water. Did that change anything? I don't believe Jesus walked on the water either. Now, does that change anything? I don't believe there is a God. Well, look out. I'm ducking. I'm getting that away from you. Whew. Get away from that guy. Man, he's liable to get smacked down just any minute here. I don't want to get in the way. Matter of fact, I'm going to get out of the way so he can. Say, Lord, I know you won't hurt him as long as I'm standing here. Let me get out of the way. Now go ahead. Give me his medicine. Smack him right real good. And he'll say, something smacked me. I said, yeah, I don't know what it was. There ain't nothing out there. Just smack him good. Smack both sides. Smack him one way and smack him the other way. And he'll say, something I couldn't see smacked me. I don't know what it was. There ain't nothing out there. Ain't nothing could smack you. Amen. I'll tell you, Mr. Ignorant, you better be glad you're still breathing. You have a chance to repent after a while. Amen. That don't change nothing because you don't believe in God. What does that change? We're going to have to, oh my goodness, we're going to have to come to our senses and our spiritual senses and wake up and say, we're not alone. God is here. God is God. And what God has said is true, and I must do it, and I must obey it, and I must hear Him, and I must understand what He said, or I'll be in the dark. I will not know. I'll be ignorant. I must know Him. I must know what He said. And then I must believe it. It's not based on seeing. Faith has never been based on seeing anything. Seeing is not believing. Believing is you'll see when you believe. Believing is not seeing. Believing is knowing. Believing is based solely on God's Word. Amen. Glory to God. Amen. So, I can pin what over my head and over the door what we want to, but I'm going to believe the Bible. Then, you know, it won't make much difference what church you go to. We'll all believe the same thing. And that's what God intended. So what's them Church of Christ people over there believe? Just like you believe. They believe the Bible. Well, I went to a Baptist church last night. What did they believe? Preaching the same thing. Believe the Bible. Went over to the Church of God. What's they doing? Believing the Bible. Like I said, we're not in the dark. Each one has their own thing. Sure they do. Don't kid yourself. Oh, it don't matter what you put over the door. Well, let me rattle you a little bit and we'll see that you're mighty proud to have that over your door. Let me rattle the cage a little bit and we'll see. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Baptists reach out and bite you. Pentecostal reach out and get you. Church of God, they'll get you. Just rattle the cage a little bit. Just, oh, it don't matter what you got over the door. Well, then take it off then. Take it off. No, it ain't going to happen. But see, sometimes this stuff has got way deeper and more settled in people than they realize. And, you know, and again, I'm not against anyone. No, don't misunderstand. But here's what we would do as a Church of Christ. If I painted you a picture of Jesus, he'd be Church of Christ man. No, you know he would. Let me paint you a picture of him. Let me tell you about our Jesus. Well, he'd be Church of Christ to the bone. Now, you know he would. He ain't going to draw no Pentecostal up there. Because they don't believe in that. Well, how could Jesus be a Pentecostal? And the Baptists say, draw me a picture of Jesus. And they draw you a picture, and so help me, right on top of his head would be Baptist. And they sure are not going to draw no Jehovah's Witness Jesus or any other Jesus. No, they'll draw you a Baptist Jesus. But you know, to our surprise and to our amazement, after a while, he won't be none of those things.